All right. What's going on, everybody? Narcolepsy Boy 94 here, aka Malik. Back here giving y'all some crown jewel predictions for tonight's little episode. For those watching on Twitch or YouTube, thank you guys for coming through. As always, I got guests on my channel who are allowed to introduce themselves. We'll start with Lof. I'll let Lof introduce himself, kind of go first, and then you go after him, and then we'll kind of go through the card. I got all the matches written down right here to the card, and then we'll kind of touch and debate on it. And if you guys in the comments want to interact, leave your comments in the comment section below. Give your thoughts on every match, what your predictions are, and what you think is going to happen. So, Lof, let's start, brother.
All right, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's feeling very oozy tonight. You know what I'm saying? Talk about some crown jewel stuff. But yeah, man. Great time to be back on the podcast, and yeah, see what we talking about tonight.
Yes, sir. YNRD underscore 248. I'm feeling very oozy. Coming from TikTok, the world TikTok, ready to do these crown jewel predictions.
Lof, I'm starting to wonder, man, about your little Roman slander. You be using the bloodline quotes and stuff. I'm starting to wonder if you really against it or if you with it, man. I can't tell no more.
Let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sammy and Jay have been making it so much more enjoyable for me. Roman himself, I still am going to rejoice the day he loses, but everyone around him are making it so much more enjoyable for me. So I will give him that.
What about you? Are you anti-Roman or are you with the bloodline?
I'm with the bloodline all day. All day.
It's a good man. It's a good man.
Yeah. Acknowledge the tribal chief every day when I wake up. Every single day.
It's a good man. It's a good man right here. It's a good man.
Yeah.
Maybe someday y'all come around, man. I'm telling you, someday y'all will come around and see it.
Come on. Greatness. We're watching.
So we're gonna start with the Bray Wyatt segment that we got. Not even a match, just assuming. Well, we don't even know what we're gonna see. So for me, I'm just gonna throw out a little 2 cents real quick. I think either we'll probably see him cut the same type of promos he's been cutting since he's been back, and then he'll come out, talk as himself, and then we'll see, like some type of Uncle Howdy video or something like that come. Or maybe he attacks somebody and we find out who his first feud's going to be against, because we still don't even know who his first feud's going to be against yet. So I'm just going to assume one of those two things will happen. Other than that, I don't really know what to expect from him. You don't really know what to expect from Bray Wyatt nowadays, I feel like, with his new character work and what's been going on since he's been back. So that's what I'm just going to assume between the two. What about you, Lof?
I'm hoping for something beyond what we've been getting on SmackDown. He's been doing a great job, and I still am partially jealous. I think it was Louisiana, that first show after Extreme Rules, because I was lucky enough to see him actually return to Extreme Rules, but I wish I got to hear him talk. I wish I got to get that promo and hear the song and everything, but I just want something more than what we've been getting. You know what I'm saying? I understand the talking in the ring and then the promo from the. I would love to see maybe Uncle Howdy show who he is, if it's actual physical person.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're at the point where we attack someone yet. I would love that. I don't think they're gonna go in that direction as of right now, but that would be cool as well. But as long as we get to see who Uncle Howdy is on Saturday, I'll be cool with it. You know what I'm saying?
Anything gonna reveal his identity already though?
No, I don't know. Well, as long as we get to see him in a physical form, as far as who it is, I don't really think we need to know. As long as we get to see him as a separate person from Bray, I think that would be something that would get a lot of people more invested into what's going on, if they're not invested already.
Okay. What about you, man? Go ahead, you.
I don't think they're gonna get. I don't think Wyatt's gonna get physical for a long time. I think they're gonna hold off on that. But since this is a really big show, I think they're gonna make a big step. I think they're gonna stick with Uncle Howdy for a while. I don't think they're gonna really do anything with any other face. So I think a full reveal of who he is, maybe a backstory, a vignette, or maybe even an in-ring appearance. But I definitely don't see Wyatt getting physical anytime soon.
So does anybody think he'll have a match anytime this year?
Nah, because where would you put him? There's no the Survivor Series is going to be War Games, and he's really got no allegiance with anybody.
Yeah.
And then there's no pay-per-view the rest of the year. So maybe the Rumble, maybe they'll save it till Mania. Maybe his first match will be Mania. If anybody can milk out their return match for a very long time, it's going to be Bray. Bray can do it for sure.
For sure.
What about you, Love? You think he'll have a match at least anytime this year, or do you think he won't have his first match until next year? Maybe we're already at the end of 2022, so
I'm hoping for at least an appearance in the Rumble, but I feel like he has to win at that point, because if he gets eliminated, then you kind of ruin a lot of what the gimmick may be. But at the most, a match WrestleMania night 2. At the most, WrestleMania match night 2. Whoever he fights, he has to win. And it's just, I don't know if you like continue a feud from WrestleMania on. I feel like it's very rare where they like start a feud at WrestleMania. They kind of blow off feuds there. But if they want to do something like that, they start a feud at WrestleMania and it goes on, then that would be really cool. But I'm hoping for at least some kind of showing of him being in the ring by at least WrestleMania.
You think Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas? That's a good question. I think a lot of people have been asking me that too on TikTok. What do you guys think? Do you think it's Bo Dallas, or do you think it's Bray Wyatt with multiple personalities? First off, let's answer that. Do you think the Wyatt, if there is a Wyatt 6, do you think it's a group, or do you think it's Bray Wyatt playing multiple people? I think I'm still kind of like 50-50 on it. I think if I had to guess, it's probably Bray Wyatt playing multiple people. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
It might be both. I feel like
both.
I feel like in a way it could be both, because I want to believe that it's like 6 different personalities, but it's being presented as if it's 6 different people. So I feel like it's not being presented as if it's just him in like these different disguises. Like it's other people around. So if them speaking is him, but them in their actual physical form is like different people, I think that would be cool. I think like, because I've heard a lot of stuff about Liv Morgan possibly being in the group. If like Bray just talks for her, but she goes out and does the action, I think you've like created a whole different kind of stable, to where it's like you see 6 of them, but only Bray talks, but he talks for each one, and it's like kind of like a puppeteer kind of thing. If you can pull that off the right way in front of a live crowd. I'm not sure how you would do that, but they found a way to do crazier stuff before. So
yeah, I think the guy under all the makeup and masks and all that and the clothes, I think that is Bo. Like, I think they're gonna do an angle where you can see them both in the same ring at the same time. But do I think like they're going to reveal it to be Bo? I think it's supposed to be Bray, if you know what I'm saying. But they have had the buzzard in Liv Morgan's all her backstage segments. If you look, you can see that buzzard. So whether it's just her and Bray plays the rest, I think that's the direction they're going towards. But also they have Braun, and there's Karrion Kross there. There's been talks about him as well. So it's very interesting. But I'm gonna go with Liv and Bray. That is just going to be them two.
I don't know how. I mean, Braun in the group wouldn't be too bad. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like he might be better off by himself. But I mean, it wouldn't be. I can understand the story aspect because they were together in the Wyatt family. So, Liv Morgan would be interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one either. I still would really want to see Alexa Bliss back with Bray Wyatt. I really loved their pairing together back in 2020 during the pandemic era. I was really into the whole Fiend with Alexa Bliss type stuff, especially the feud with Randy Orton that they were having. I was really into that stuff, that whole feud. Besides, minus the ending of how it ended and everything. But I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to see. I think it might be Bray Wyatt playing multiple characters, kind of like a Face Foley type stuff. Just he has multiple people that he's playing. I think if anybody could pull it off, it definitely could be Bray Wyatt in this era. So I'm curious to see what will come with it. Maybe it is a faction of 6 people that we don't know about. I think that's what makes Bray Wyatt so good and so mysterious. We really don't know what he has planned, honestly. Like, people have speculations, but I don't think anybody really knows in their mind 100% like what this man has coming for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Like, this guy there's no like, I haven't seen like any spoilers or any clear-cut thing about Bray Wyatt of like what's gonna happen for him. You know what I mean? So I'm very curious to see what comes for him in the future. So let's get to our first match. We'll start with Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley.
Oh man,
Brock and Bobby 2. We all know that Bobby won the first match back at the Royal Rumble in January. But this time, no MVP, no Paul Heyman. Both guys are solo this time. They're by themselves. They're going out there alone. So I'll let Loft start with your prediction. What you think?
This is the only match like I'm like going to be like standing up for during this whole show because I don't know what Bobby Lashley has done over the past 8 months that got me like super invested in him. I've never been a fan of him like I am right now. I think he's gonna beat Brock again. I'm hoping that it's clean. I don't want any interference in this match. These two can go for a half hour and just absolutely destroy each other. So I'm hoping that Bob beats him by submission. I feel like pinfall would be cool, but I feel like submitting Brock is a very huge thing to do, especially for someone who. So I think someone like Bob, who he has the credentials to do it, but I feel like a lot of people have been sleeping on him, especially after Rollins beat him. Even in the way that it happened with Brock coming out and helping Rollins beat him, it was like as soon as Bob lost, I feel like a lot of people stopped remembering what Bob was doing before that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he beats Brock with the Hurt Lock, and you could go on with this feud, I guess. I kind of want it to end though. I kind of want Bob more on the Roman Reigns side of things, and depending on where Brock goes, I'm assuming he's not going to be here for long. But I'm definitely predicting Bob wins in a really, really good match.
Bobby Lashley, what about you?
I'm gonna go Bobby. I don't see what Brock needs to prove. He's already done with the title picture. And I feel like this is a way to establish Bobby even more because his win over Lesnar is tainted, and I think they're going to try to legitimize that now. And I definitely think Bobby and Roman is definitely a match that needs to happen before Roman drops the belt. I think it's a good way to build Bobby up, and Brock can go back to Saskatchewan and come back for the Rumble or do whatever, and he'll be fine. Brock doesn't need to win; he'll be fine.
I'm gonna disagree. I think Brock Lesnar is winning. I don't see him losing another big match this year. He's pretty much put Roman over the entire year, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and I think they're going to have a trilogy match. I think Brock Lesnar wins this match, and then they will have a third match, maybe at WrestleMania or whatever other show they have. But I think I just can't see Brock Lesnar losing. I mean, Bobby Lashley's on a roll, but Brock Lesnar doesn't lose too many times, and I feel like if he keeps losing, it kind of devalues him a little bit, his mystique as kind of the beast. You know, him losing to Roman at WrestleMania, I get Roman's the guy. They were trying to make Roman, to solidify him as, I guess double champion as like the true face of the company. We already know he was the face of the company, but I guess they were trying to solidify him more. And then SummerSlam, I think was thrown together because I believe it was going to be Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, but then Randy got injured and he got taken out. So I just feel like they just put that together just to end it. So otherwise, I don't know if Brock would have even had a match at SummerSlam or he would have faced Roman to begin with. But I just I don't think Bobby Lashley will get hurt by losing. I think Bobby Lashley will put up a good fight, and I think Brock Lesnar will I don't want to say escape with the win, but I don't think he's going to dominate Bobby Lashley like that. I think it'll be a good fight back and forth, and then he'll pick up the victory, and then we have a third match since Bobby won the first one, Brock now won the second one. It'll be a third match sometime in the future. Like I said, possibly at WrestleMania. I don't think Brock is sticking around, for Survivor Series or anything. I think he'll probably be back for the Royal Rumble. And then Bobby will maybe go after Seth again for the title, or he'll do something else differently. But I just can't see Brock losing another big match this year. If he hadn't lost to Roman in the two matches, it'd be different. But I just kind of know how they do things with Brock. Usually, he may put some people over here and there, but he's not gonna keep losing to lose. You know what I mean? Like something has to come eventually. So I'm gonna say Brock. And then Bobby and Brock have a rematch sometime again in the future, and they'll have a third, which I think would be the smart thing to do. You have a third match, that kind of makes it really more unpredictable now because now Bobby's won one, Brock's won one, so now we have a third match. Both guys are around the same age, so it's like, Bobby's there more than Brock is, but it still makes it a little bit, more interesting as far as who could win. Like, what direction would they go in? You know what I mean? Would they give it to Bobby, or are they going to give it to Brock? So I think it would make it a little bit more interesting that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was hoping just for the way they've been booking Brock. I'm just looking at it like I feel like they're going in there with only like, we're going to have you lose these matches, but we're going to pay you a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's more looking at it in the money sense. Now, I feel like the mystique of Brock Lesnar has been broken ever since Roman just repeatedly beats him. I feel like Brock's mystique was going a long time ago, unfortunately, but it's just now you can kind of revitalize it because he always will be a draw. He always will be someone who the people want to see. So I don't think it really matters if he wins or loses at all for the rest of his career because it's still Brock Lesnar at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I think the same thing that you had, the same feeling that people have when Brock walks in the room, I feel like that is something that Bobby Lashley has deserved for a while. And I think you have him beat Brock again. I think that's when you can start on the road of having Bob be that guy who deserves like all that fear and domination, that feeling of just like he's going to beat anybody. I feel like Bob has deserved that for a very long time, and his workload and his resume, I feel like kind of benefit both of those things. So I don't know. I mean,
Bobby, I think he definitely one of those people who could feel that feeling of like when his music hits, you feel like you're gonna beat somebody up because Brock definitely has that. But I don't think his mystique is gone. And if Brock were just to lose a lot all the time, it would be gone. You feel me? But I don't think his mystique is gone. He's not really the beast anymore. He's kind of doing the whole cowboy stuff right now, which is cool. So I mean, he's not, I guess, as dominant as he was when he was the beast. You know what I mean? Because when he was the beast, I think he was more serious. He wasn't as just more goofy or anything. The cowboy Brock, I think, is like actual Brock in real life, like how he really is type shit. So I think to keep the mystique, you have to keep people on a track where they can at least still feel like that. And I think Brock needs to feel that way with the win here. It's kind of like when Cena comes back, I think Cena, like whenever he comes back, his next match has to be where he can beat somebody because his last few matches he's come back, he's been putting people over. He came back and put Roman over. He put The Fiend over a couple years ago at WrestleMania. So like the big matches he's been coming back, he's been putting people over who need to be put over, which was cool for him. But if you just keep having John Cena come back and losing, what's the point of having him come back for a lot of people? Because he just keeps losing now. So it's like he's not really. John Cena never lost like that when he was on top. You know what I mean? So like he just comes back, keeps losing. It kind of kills the mystique of him a little bit. Like he'll still be John Cena, he'll still get those reactions, but it's kind of like if he comes back and he's facing somebody again, you might be like, oh well, I know he's losing, so I may not really care. You know what I'm saying about this type of. You don't want people to feel that way. So even though some people I think have mixed feelings about Brock, I think it was due to his past booking and how he was booked in the past. But I think if you have, because Bobby Lashley's in a good position. And honestly, he's really not a part of like the future of WWE. He's like in his late 40s, pushing 50, soon. So like he's not going to be around as much as like a Drew McIntyre or like the next 10. We're talking like the next 10 years. You know what I mean? So he's somebody who I think is already kind of established. I think if Brock kind of beats him, like I said, not in a dominant fashion, just kind of like. Maybe Bobby Lashley has the Hurt Lock in a lot, and Brock is like almost passing out type thing, and then he hits an F5 or something like that. Kind of escapes. You know what I mean? Like he barely just. I honestly, I can say right now, Brock Lesnar ain't tapping out. That's not happening. That will never happen. I don't see that at all.
My dream, man.
I can't even see him passing out. If I'm being honest, I don't even see that an option.
Really?
I don't even think that'll be. Maybe in a third match if they really want to put Bobby over, like, hey Brock, we kind of need you to. Sure. But as far as like completely like tapping, that I don't see happening. Maybe pass out. It could depend. I would think it would have to do. Like I said, it would have to for Brock to do that though. It would have to make sense story wise, and also like something has to come for Brock afterwards. You know what I mean? Like some people have been built up in WWE to be certain things. Like they have to. I feel like stay that way. But you also have to kind of manage it, to an extent. That's why, like, it'll be interesting to see, like, when Roman loses the title, like, what's going to happen, the Tribal Chief stuff. He's been doing it for almost 3 years, and he hasn't been pinned yet. So like when he finally gets that first pin, is he going to be like more dangerous now because he lost, or is he just gonna not be like? We don't know. So that's what makes it more interesting right there to that aspect. The next match we got Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in the cage match. So this one right here, we keep talking about the Mystique and stuff. This one is interesting to me. I feel like this is one for me that Drew McIntyre has to win. I feel like I wouldn't be shocked or disappointed if Karrion Kross did win, because I do think he's somebody that Triple H is going to make one of the top stars for his future. If you saw NXT, you saw how he booked Karrion Kross to begin with. But I just feel like Drew McIntyre can't keep losing big matches and big feuds that he's in, because then that doesn't make Drew McIntyre feel like a top star anymore. And I feel like he still is. I still think he deserves a world title push in front of the fans eventually in the future. I think he's owed that. But if he loses to Karrion again, I don't know what's next for him after that. I don't see them having another match if he loses to Karrion Kross 2-0. He already lost to Roman at Clash of the Castle. He lost to Karrion Kross at Extreme Rules. If he loses to Karrion again at Crown Jewel, I don't know what would be next for him after that. Like, is he going to keep being the guy who just keeps putting people over in the feuds to make other people look good and nothing comes for him? Like, I don't think that's fair for Drew McIntyre either. So something has to come for him. It's a cage match, so I think that Drew winning would be okay. I don't think it would hurt Karrion. Maybe they have a trilogy match too. I don't know, but I'm gonna say Drew McIntyre for me. What about you, Love?
I don't know. This feud kind of died for me at Extreme Rules, because like the match itself was just so freaking slow, and then the ending I hated. So it's like I'm gonna pick Drew to win, but just if Karrion wins, I'm cool. Just have a better match, please. I feel like I haven't seen a good cage match in I don't know how long. Well, at least a good cage match on pay-per-view. Not counting the fight pit match, guy. That's not a steel cage,
right?
But, but at the same time, it's just like you have to do something special with Karrion, because I feel like he's already not getting the reaction I think Triple H may have believed he was going to get. I think that the reaction that he got when he first came back out of nowhere and attacked Drew was great. And then like over time, I feel like it's just got slow, like lower and lower. And right now, whoever he fought on SmackDown, I forget who it was. Whoever he just fought on SmackDown.
It was Moss.
Yeah,
Moss. Yeah. It was like the crowd didn't even care, And I think Karrion Kross's character is cool to me. I know how his wrestling style probably isn't the most captivating for most people, but I like his character. So a win here again would be a solidifying thing. But at the same time, I'm still sore that Drew lost at Clash. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that he needs this a little bit more than Karrion does. And then this is something that I would be on board for a third match at some point. Maybe at a WrestleMania. I'm not sure if this is a WrestleMania tier match right now or feud, but I'll pick Drew to win. I'll pick Drew to win.
Yeah, I'm going with Drew because it's a cage match, so he can just win by escape. Karrion Kross doesn't have to eat a pin, so they can keep that like he's never been pinned or tapped out thing.
Yeah,
and I think Drew really needs this because he lost that Clash, and then he lost to Karrion again, and Karrion he's been dominating him. I mean, every week Karrion just standing over Drew until Karrion got in that accident. So it's been a pretty one-sided feud for the most part when you look back at it. So I think Drew really needs this win. And then they can have a third match, and then I think Karrion's going to win that third match because Karrion is somebody that Triple H definitely wants to push and make a top guy. He's one of those guys who can honestly beat Roman. So I definitely think that Drew's getting this one, and the next one is going to go to Karrion Kross.
Understandable. Let's get to the next one. We got Alexa and Asuka versus Io and Dakota. The women's tag team match was kind of put together, I think, a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. So we got the new champions. So I didn't have an issue with Alexa and Asuka winning. It did feel random. Like, it felt kind of random. I've seen people say like they think everybody is gonna win and Damage Control is gonna win on Saturday, like all the titles on the same night. I can understand that, but I just feel like it's kind of pointless. Like if they just wanted everybody to have the gold, they could have just had Bayley beat Bianca in the ladder match, and then everybody would just have the gold right there. So everybody, they already had the tag titles, and you could have just had Bayley beat Bianca. But I don't know if it makes sense for Alexa and Asuka just to lose the titles a couple days after they just won it. Like I don't understand the point. Like cool, they win them on the same day. That's cool, but it's like still kind of pointless. Like if you wanted them all to have the gold, like I feel like if they wanted to push them with all the gold, like I said, Bayley would have won the title at Extreme Rules, and they would already have the gold. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say Alexa and Asuka win. I think Damage Control eventually will have all the gold. I did think they were gonna have all the gold at Extreme Rules. I was one of the people who thought that was gonna happen, but I think more so right now that I think maybe they're using Bayley for maybe to help make Bianca solidify star, even though she kind of already is. But I think they may be trying to, to use them to help the Bianca push still. But I just maybe they all do win the gold. I'm not saying it won't happen. Maybe they all win the gold Saturday. I wouldn't be against it because I'm a huge Bayley fan, so I wouldn't be against it. But it's kind of still like a little pointless for me because, like I said, if they just wanted everybody to have the gold, everybody would just have the gold already. If Bianca just lost to Bayley Extreme Rules, you know what I mean? So like, what's the point of them just because they won it all on the same day? Like, I guess it makes it more cooler. I guess I don't know, but I'm gonna say Alexa and Asuka for me personally. You can
go. Yeah, I don't know why this match is happening. I was sleep watching Raw and I woke up and I saw Alexa in midair and I'm like, oh, okay. And then they won and I was utterly confused because I feel I was super high on Damage Control and I still am, I don't know why they're doing this match and I don't know why they would give the titles back to Io and Kota after what Raw did. Now, I do feel like this is going to be a title retain, but I'm hoping for a return. I'm hoping Sasha and Naomi return. I'm gonna keep saying it, even though it's almost never going to happen. I feel like I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for the both of them to join Damage Control, or just to be there in some sense, so you have them into this feud as well. Because I'm not really into. I haven't been on board with Alexa and Asuka. Alexa and Asuka helping Bianca this whole time. Like it feels like it's taken away from Asuka, and Alexa just feels like she's there. So maybe a tag team championships can make them feel more dominant to me. But as far as this match goes, I'm just hoping for a title retain and hopefully something exciting happens as far as adding more people to this feud or just having a really good match. But yeah, I'm going Alexa and Asuka here.
Yeah, I don't see what the point was putting the belts on if they're going to lose. Maybe if you're Vince booking it, I could see that because he was known to do that. But Triple H, I feel like Triple H has more of a plan. I see someone says War Games match for all the gold. That could be possible. That would be a nice way to establish War Games and really get people to watch. Maybe Damage Control doesn't have all the titles at Crown Jewel. Then Survivor Series is the night they get it all. But then again, it's like if you wanted them to have all the gold, could have did that at Extreme Rules. But maybe they're just waiting for a bigger stage and a bigger match. But I definitely see Alexa and Asuka retaining because, like I said, they just won it, and it wouldn't really do anything for the titles either. It's like just having it go back and forth between two teams, and one team's not even established. Like they were kind of just thrown together. And they're not even, it's not even like when the Usos and New Day did it, like, because they're like two of the top teams of this generation. So like when they went back and forth, it was cool. But like with these two teams, like back and forth wouldn't be cool. Like it's just kind of for ladies, and two of them were thrown together. So I definitely see Asuka and Alexa Bliss retaining this one, and then leading up to War Games, possibly for all the gold. That would be pretty cool.
We can touch on the next bed, the Bianca and Bayley match to the last women's standing match. This possibly could be match of the night. I think the match will be a great match. I do think Bianca is going to win though. If Bayley was going to win, I think it would have been at Extreme Rules. I think at this point Bianca is going to hold the title for a full year. I think their goal is to solidify her as the face of the women's division and as the top star of the division. I think Bianca is going to hold the title all the way to WrestleMania, probably even past WrestleMania a little bit. So I think Bianca's going to get the win here. Not sure who she'll feud with after Bayley. I think maybe there's still options out there for her. But I'm not sure who she'll be feuding with. But I definitely think Bianca's going to win. And I still believe, even though I'm going ahead of time, I think next year at WrestleMania, it probably will be Bianca and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
I'm gonna pick Bianca again. Her being champion for a year is music to my that sounds beautiful, but I am hoping for a certain person to interject themselves into this, and I think it's a long shot because I feel like both of them are doing totally different things right now. But I need Rhea Ripley to be in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah.
In Bianca Belair's way. I feel like they're supposed to have a match earlier, but I think Rhea got injured.
Yeah.
At some point, I forget when Rhea got injured, but I think that has to be the next feud. And I think the best way to get to that is having Rhea attack Bianca after she wins this match because she's going to be all down and injured after having a last woman standing match. But these two had an amazing match at Extreme Rules, so I don't think it's possible for them to have a bad match at all. So for a match of the night pick, that's definitely a safe one. Yeah, I would be very surprised if they gave this to Bayley because it would just look weird. And like I said, if you wanted to do all that, there were earlier times to do that, you know. So, I'm still picking Bianca. Her being champion for a year. I haven't heard a lot of people say that, so that just made me really happy. I hope so. I really hope so. But yeah, Bianca for the win.
Yeah, I'm going with Bianca. I don't mind Bianca being champ for a year. One thing that scares me is the internet. You know how wrestling, the IWC is. They're going to turn on her. I just know it's going to happen. And that's what scares me about her being champ for a year. I wouldn't mind. I'm sure the booking would be good because Triple H. But it's just like, I could just see people turn on her. But Bayley, I feel like
people already kind of turned on her, honestly.
Yeah. So, but I think bringing Bayley back and having her win at this point is kind of pointless. Like if you wanted to capitalize on that, you would have done that, like at Extreme Rules. So Bianca's winning, and I think Rhea is a good feud. And you could have the Profits in Bianca's corner and Judgment Day in Rhea's corner. So like numbers are more evened out. And that's just two very athletic and big women just duking out. Like it'd just be a really good feud. And they've had a match before. And even in that the 2021 Royal Rumble, they had a nice last couple minutes.
Yeah.
Nice little preview to what could be. And I think that would be really good. Really nice challenge for Bianca. If you really want to establish her and really build her up, if you're going to go with that Charlotte Flair, I think that'd be a really, really nice feud. Yeah.
I think Bianca and Rhea could be like the next Trish and Lita type feud, you know, like the next Charlotte Sasha, the next Becky and you know, Becky and Charlotte type feud, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be the next top feud for the women's division for the future. So I still want to see that match. I'm still hoping to get that in the future as well.
Yeah, I think Big E would love that feud. Just two big meaty women.
Usos and Brawling Brutes also could be another match of the night candidate. I think a lot of the Brawling Brutes have been getting over a lot lately. A lot of people are starting to get behind them. Sheamus, Butch, and Rich Holland. They're starting to get a lot of good reactions, but they've been having great matches, man. I mean,
bangers.
Gunther and Sheamus at Clash of the Castle was amazing. The Donnybrook match at Extreme Rules was also amazing. So I expect this match to be hard hitting and very good. I do think the Usos are going to win, though. I think we talking about records. I think they're going to beat the New Day's record and become longest reigning tag team champions, which I think they're close at, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how far off they are from it, but I think they're kind of close at this point. So I'm going to go with the Usos.
Yeah, I'm debating on this only because I really like what the Brawling Brutes have been doing. And I do feel like what's happening in the Bloodline feud, I think this would be a cool time to have the Usos drop the championships, because then I think it puts a lot more pressure on them actually being a team and all this stuff with Sammy going on and stuff like that. I do not think they're going to go that way, but I would love for them to just try a scenario in which the Usos lose a match, because it's just like the Roman thing I can understand, but I just feel like the Usos have been in such more dangerous scenarios. Like that first match against the Profits, I thought was one of the best Uso matches I've seen ever, and like I thought they were going to lose them when they had the rematch where Jeff Jarrett was the ref, and I hated that match because that match just made the Profits look like complete trash.
Yeah, I was upset about that one. I thought the Street Profits needed that desperately.
But they still haven't recovered from that. To me, they just still feel like garbage to me, and that freaking sucks because they put on such a good match the first time.
Yeah, that match was the second match was okay. I was there live for that, and I was just like, all right.
I was so mad during that. It was just like it wasn't the same team. It felt like it was the same Usos barely, but it wasn't the same Profits. So, but as far as the Brutes go, they're putting on really good matches. But I'm picking the Usos to win again, and hopefully they figure some way, shape, or form of having them lose before Roman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going with the Usos. Brawling Brutes are very entertaining. I'm glad to see Sheamus is like over, even like though like 10 years ago they tried it and it didn't really go out how they wanted it. But it's glad to see him and his boys over. But I definitely don't see them to be the ones to dethrone the Usos, because they've been talking about the New Day, their reign. So that I think that's the next feud for the Usos to break that reign. And I think that's going to be like the last opponents before they finally break it. And I think Sammy and Kevin are going to be the ones to beat the Usos. Really? I think, yeah, because you got Sammy already, super over with the bloodline. And if he's not the man to dethrone Roman, then just get Kevin Owens and have him beat the Usos. It'd be a great story. And they've already teased it a little bit a couple months ago. Kevin kind of like saying, you've been manipulated, blah, 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 that stuff. So I think, and plus like they're already friends. You already have that never ending cycle of love and hate between the two. So I think you just bring that back around. And honestly, that's a WrestleMania match and they would tear the house down. I mean, just from every aspect, from the in-ring work to the story outside of the ring, to the emotion, like that match would probably be, if that match happens, that is going to be the tag team match of the year of 2023. There's not going to be a match that's going to top that.
Interesting. Kevin Owens hasn't been on TV in a little bit, so I'm not sure what they're doing. What's in yet? I know they just repackaged him as the prize fighter, but I think they're probably still trying to figure out what type of feud they want to put him in first. Kevin and Sammy together, though, I don't know. You think? Oh man, I love Sammy in the Bloodline right now, though, man.
He's doing great.
Oh yeah, I think Elimination Chambers in Canada. So if you really want to officially break Sammy away from the Bloodline,
it's in Montreal too. It's in Montreal.
Yeah. So like if you want that, I feel like that's the show to like really do it at and like build to that show and then have that at Elimination Chamber, Kevin and Sammy have that embrace and like Sammy finally breaks free from the Bloodline. If that's the route you want to go, because I love Sammy in the Bloodline and I don't want it to end. So they can milk this out for as long as they want.
Let's see. We got the OC and the Judgment Day right here. This one will be a little interesting right here too. So we know Rhea Ripley has been causing issues for the OC. She's been attacking some of the fellas in the group, and obviously the fellas can't put their hands on her because she's a girl. So they've been talking about trying to find a woman to join the group to help solve that issue. Who do you guys think it could be? I've heard rumors and speculations of who it could be. So who do you guys think it could be or will be? Maybe we find out at Crown Jewel, maybe we don't. But I think I've heard that it could be Mia Yim coming back. So I've heard that. Maybe it could be somebody else being thrown in there. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see who they could put in there. I think Saturday, the OC, I think will win, and I think we'll find out who their Rhea Ripley problem is solver. Their problem solver will be.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard the Mia Yim stuff a little bit, but I feel like I wouldn't expect her because her husband's in AEW, so I feel like she'll go with him. But that would be cool to see her back with them or back in the company. But I'm really hoping for a Judgment Day win. I think Judgment Day is my favorite stable in the company at the moment, and I just feel like they have a lot more to build on than the OC. You know, I think the OC are already established as a group. I think Judgment Day is like finally on the incline with like figuring out who they are, what they want to do, stuff like that. So I don't know.
You got to remember that there always could be other matches in the future. So you got War Games coming up too. So I mean,
yeah. I'm still gonna pick Judgment Day to win. I think they're gonna have someone like I'm gonna say Tegan Knox is gonna pop up to be the Rhea Ripley problem solver. I think they'll have like a brawl at the end. Judgment Day still wins, but Rhea tries to attack them afterwards, like they usually do, and someone like Tegan Knox comes out. That's the only person I can think of that's like a solo star that could possibly come back. Yeah, so that's all I can think of right now.
Go ahead, man. What about you?
I'm gonna go with the Judgment Day. They need this as a group. I don't think they've won a match on pay-per-view since Edge was a part of them. I know they lost at SummerSlam and they lost at Clash. And the booking for Judgment Day till like after SummerSlam was pretty bad after Edge left because they just kept losing. They would look strong on TV, then they would lose at the pay-per-view. So I think this is their chance to get a win as a group, and they got Dominic now, so they're going to try to build him up with the group. And I know Triple H is big on making Finn Balor a big deal again, and so I think the Judgment Day have it. OC will be fine. AJ Styles is AJ Styles, and the Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, they just got back. They'll be all right. I think Tegan Knox is a good bet. I don't really see who else on the Raw roster you could put in that place. I mean, Nikki Cross is doing something else. Mm-hmm. Bianca has her thing with Bayley, and I don't even know who else is on the roster. If I'm being honest, with Dana Brooke, like they're not going to do that. That's no. So I think it's Judgment. I think Judgment Day is going to win, and then I think Tegan Knox is a good person to go after Rhea.
I think OC wins, and then we'll probably maybe we get like a big War Games match at Survivor Series, and then Judgment Day will win that one. I think OC wins to continue the story where Judgment Day is trying to overcome or get vengeance for themselves. OC finds somebody to take care of Rhea Ripley if they need it, but the Judgment Day is obviously going to have the last laugh at the end of it. So I think that possibly could happen. And I still don't even know if Judgment Day's even done with Edge yet. Like after the Extreme Rules match, even though we haven't seen Edge since Extreme Rules, but I mean, storyline wise, I would assume that he still would want revenge for what they did to Beth Phoenix. You know what I mean? Storyline wise, so I'm not even sure that's even done with yet. So maybe that plays a factor into it. Still, I'm not sure, but we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. We got Braun Strowman versus Omos. I did hear that MVP will not be there, so Omos will be there.
Because he's got because his arrest from years ago, he can't go overseas.
Yeah. So
damn,
he will not be there. This match, I have a good prediction for this match. I don't think either guy wants this match. I think it will end in some type of double count out. I think maybe like both guys put each other through the barricade or fall off the stage or something crazy. I think WWE, I think they're trying to find a way to get Omos over, but trying to protect him as a giant as well. And then I think they're still going to protect Braun Strowman as a monster because he just came back. So I think they're going to do something where it's like, it's not going to be the most exciting match. It'll be maybe boring for a lot of people, but I think it'll have high impact. And I think the ending will be something crazy where like both guys take each other out to where, you know, like they're not standing anymore or something like that. And it'll be like a double counter or something. I think it just makes sense. I don't know if like Braun Strowman beating Omos makes Braun Strowman look like a monster, but don't know what that would mean for Omos because, you know, like he's only lost one match, and that was to Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. but I understood why they did that. Everybody's got to lose their undefeated streak at some point, so you kind of get that out of the way. And now he's already lost the one match, so now he can kind of just focus on trying to be dominant. But I don't think it's a good thing for Omos to beat Braun Strowman either, because Braun just came back. You know what I mean? So you still want to kind of have him in a good spot, I feel like, too. So I just think something crazy will happen. Like it won't be unless there's going to be like an interference, maybe some type of interference we don't know about. I know some people said they think Bray Wyatt will come out and attack Braun Strowman or something. It would be crazy. That could be something, but if there's really no type of interference, I would be really surprised if either guy beat one of the other. I'd be surprised if Omos beat Braun Strowman. I'd be surprised if Braun Strowman beat Omos. I think it'll end maybe some type of something will happen where it'll be a double count out. Like both guys will put each other to the table or something crazy, I think.
As far as interference goes, I heard like 3 people tell me Great Khali was going to be there. That made me laugh because
it's possible. I could see it happening.
The 3 of them in the ring together, I think, would be absolutely like.
It's the most crown jewel thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm hoping not because I've never been the biggest Khali guy, but that would be a spectacle to see. But I'm kind of with you on the whole. No one really wins. I'm hoping for a ring implode kind of thing, the ring collapse kind of superplex off the top rope, something like that, and then just end with both of them laid out in the ring. I'm cool with that. I'm not the biggest Braun Strowman fan, and Omos sucks, so I'm so like disinterested with this match.
Oh my God.
But if like something where Bray comes up, that would be interesting. I just don't want Bray and Omos ever in the same vicinity. I just feel like Bray's up here and Omos is very, very low beyond that. So, but yeah, the match ends with the ring collapsed and both of them just done. I'll be okay. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to protect both guys. I like Omos. He's cool. I don't think he should be world champion or anything, but he's cool. I like Braun Strowman. I think he looks better than ever. And for a big man, he's very solid. Very solid in the ring.
Top 5 right now for me and Braun.
Yeah, he's really good. So I would like to see him and Roman run it back one more time before Roman drops the belts. Even like,
I don't know about that one.
Just one more time. I think one more match would be cool. I don't want a feud. I just want one more match. But yeah, I think like someone goes through the ring or the barricade or the stage and some pyro goes off and stuff, and just some big stuff for these big guys. Another match that Big E's gonna enjoy a lot. It's gonna be short. I think it's gonna be like under 5 minutes, and it's gonna be 2 giants. It is what it is, and they're gonna do big guy things, and then the match is gonna end, and then we're gonna move on to the next match.
Facts.
All right, so I've heard rumors about this one too. We don't know if it's true or not, but I kind of seen it floating on the internet, so I'll just throw it out there just in case it happens. They said that Seth Rollins will be doing like an open challenge for the U.S. title.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
If that does happen, who do you guys think would answer the challenge? I mean, I think Mustafa Ali kind of would be the obvious answer, but it's Crown Jewel, so maybe they have a surprise in store. I'm not sure. Like I said, we don't even know if this is going to happen. This is just a big what if. I've seen it float around the internet, so I don't know if it's true or not, but only time will tell if it is true. But if he does answer the open challenge, I mean, I guess I would say Mustafa Ali, but I don't know if that seems a little too obvious. Maybe somebody big with the comeback. I don't know. I'm interested to see if they do that. What do you think, Off?
My brain would definitely go to Ali at first. As far as a surprise, I don't know who else he can bring back. That's not like a Cena or something. I feel like he's picked up all like the other Infinity Stones. I feel like he got everything else. I can't. If I'm missing someone, I apologize. But I'm definitely trying to think of people that are like just hanging around waiting to be picked up again, because like that would fit with Rollins, I guess. I still want to see Rollins and AJ go back at it. I just think both of them are amazing. But safe bet is going with Ali. Safe bet is going with Ali to show up and hopefully put on a really good like 15 to 20 minute match with Rollins. Rollins obviously wins, but Ali and Rollins, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be Ali. I think that's a good way to build him up again. Saudi. He had a good match with Mansoor last year. That was a fun match. Um, I think Seth and Ali will they can deliver a banger in their sleep. That'll be a really good match. If it's not Ali, it's gonna be Mansoor. Because they always got something for him in Saudi. So it's one of those two. But I think this will be beginning of an Ali push in the mid card. So Ali and Seth, that's gonna be a good match.
Then we got the main event, Roman Reigns, Logan Paul. There's some rumors that we've been hearing about this. I guess Jake Paul is going to be there with Logan, so he'll be in his corner. I'm assuming the Usos and Solo will probably be there in Roman's corner as well. Assuming that Solo will be there. I know Sami Zayn won't be there, but it's assuming that everybody's going to be in everybody's corner who's usually there. I think we all have Roman Reigns winning. I think we all can agree on that. I'm more interested to see. Excuse me. I'm more interested to see the match type though, quality. Logan Paul. The two matches he's had, he impressed me. He did really well at WrestleMania. He did extraordinary at SummerSlam. I was there for both his matches actually. He had in person.
Yeah, that SummerSlam match was crazy. I was there for that. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was there at WrestleMania. I was there at SummerSlam when he hit that fucking frog splash.
That was dope.
That was insane. I think it'll be a little competitive match. I think Roman will help try to make Logan Paul look like a star and try to help get him over more. But I think at the end, we all know Roman Reigns probably is going to win. And I'm more interested to see like I said, the match quality. Like what's Logan Paul going to bring to the table against Roman? He's the top guy in the company right now. I want to see what I mean. Like I said, he did well against The Miz. I thought he did well in the tag team match as well, but this is like a different beast. He's like in the main event against the top guy right now for the title. So like, this is to be his third match. It's a lot of pressure. I think he can handle it though. I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people don't like the Paul brothers, but I watch a lot of their stuff and they really put a lot of dedication and work hard to a lot of stuff they do, whether it's boxing or wrestling or whatever they're doing. Like they take it very serious. Obviously, Logan Paul takes it very serious because if he didn't, then he wouldn't have been able to perform the way he did in either match. You know what I mean? Like you got to at least. Yeah. That's one thing to say you're going to wrestle, but you got to put in the work too to go out there and show the fans that you've been putting in the work in. I know people don't like him, but he's been doing that obviously because if he hadn't, then he wouldn't know what the fuck he's doing in the ring at all. So he's got great athleticism. Like I said, I think Roman will control most of the match because he's the veteran. He's the guy, and I think it may be like one little false finish, like maybe he hits a frog splash something. Roman gives him a little false finish, but at the end of it, probably Roman gets the dub here, and then Logan Paul maybe moves on to something else in the future. Maybe with Jake there, maybe they tease like the Paul brothers versus the Usos or something. I don't know. If Jake's gonna be in his corner, that'd be a little interesting to see.
I saw a rumor that he'll be there.
Yeah, he's gonna be in his corner. So.
Oh no.
So just assuming that he'll be in his corner, like I said, maybe they do like a little Paul brothers Usos type thing. I don't know. I don't know if even like Jake even has any experience like training or anything. Not to my knowledge, he doesn't. But I don't know for sure 100%. I can't speak on that. But Love, what do you? We already got Roman winning, but what do you expect from this?
If we get the one lucky shot spot, I'll be cool. If he just clocks Roman one good time and like the crowd, he might just get him, and then Roman kicks out the last possible second, then I'll be cool with it. I want Roman to win by submission. I feel like he's been doing the off the rope spear spot a lot, and I don't want him to the same spot that he beat Drew McIntyre with. I don't want him to get that same spot with Logan Paul, but I'm just not. I understand the whole Logan Paul thing. He has done a really good job, but it's just like I've been disgusted with this match ever since they announced it. So I'll be cool if Roman just squashes him. If I'm being honest with you, I don't care for a 15 to 20 minute match. I don't care if the match starts. He walks up to him, clocks him 1, 2. Roman gets up, submits him. I'll be fine. I'll be fine with a 5-minute match. But if they're gonna go in and have a long time match, I'm sure Logan's gonna get his spots in. Give the crowd some kind of incentive that he may just maybe get it. The commentary be on the side, all that stuff. But I'm hoping for no interference. Probably will be interference on both sides if Jake is going to be ringside. I think that's going to be a interesting thing too, because usually just Roman having interference and then no one else. If now there's 2 interferences happening on both sides, I think that would be a cool thing to play on. Maybe Jake hits Roman too. You can have fun with it, but obviously Roman wins at the end of the day. But I'll be looking to just get a laugh out of this match. If I'm being honest with you, I'll be lucky just to see what they try to do, and maybe Theory shows up. I feel like Theory's gonna show up and then Jake like gonna clock him.
Yeah,
knocks him out. He knocks him out. Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, as long as I get a good laugh out of this match, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Roman. I think they should get between 10, 15 minutes. Logan's good, and Roman's the ring general, and I think they'll put on a good match. I was there for SummerSlam, and I started off booing Logan Paul. Then once he left, I was cheering him. He's really good for a guy who's only been doing this a short time. I think we're going to get that spot where he clocks Roman, and Roman kicks out at the very last second, and like for a split second, we think Logan Paul actually wins. But this match is, I mean, it's. Every time I see the commercial for this match, I laugh because it's like you get Roman Reigns and you see Logan Paul, and I'm like, bro, they're really doing this. But it'll be really good. It'll be a good match. I think Logan's going to impress a lot more people. I like to see Jake Paul knock Jay out or Jimmy, not Solo, or Theory out. I would like to see, even though I'm not a Jake Paul fan, I think it would just be fun. I think, like you said, just have fun with this match. I think Andrew Tate cost Logan Paul the Universal Championship. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to end it like
that. That's hilarious. That would be funny. That would be really
it'll be an interesting matchup for sure. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what they can do together in the ring. What do you guys think will be next for Roman? Like his next opponent, who do you think will be next in line after Logan?
Andrew Tate. Nah, that's a good question. I think War Games after this. I think that's his next thing. I think Bloodline. I'm gonna go Bloodline, Brawling Brutes, and the New Day, and War Games. I think that'd be a nice War Games.
So you said the Bloodline, Brawling Brutes, and who?
New Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got the history with the Usos.
Yeah,
and they'd probably be salty that they broke their ring too, and the Usos will probably retain, and like they'll cheat and stuff, and then that feud will be back on. So
nice. What about you, Love?
Bobby Lashley.
Ooh,
I'm hoping for Bobby Lashley just so I can have a dream that maybe Bobby beats him, because just hoping. I think that would be really, really cool, and I think that gives Roman a lot of time to be on Raw more, because I feel like he needs to be on Raw more, since he has both the damn championships. But War Games, whatever they do with War Games, I feel like that's going to be awesome. I really want them to like experiment with just have other avenues besides just Bloodline dominate. I feel like with the War Games, you kind of have a little bit of a gray area where you can have them lose and not really lose, or have them lose but not look like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I still feel like Survivor Series is going to be one of the best pay-per-views of the year. I feel like now Triple H has something to prove with the War Games finally being on the main roster. You have a lot of people who've never been in that kind of scenario, and I think would really benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? So
it's true.
Yeah. War Games and Bobby Lashley. That's what I'm hoping for at the moment. No Bray Wyatt right now. Please don't do it right now.
I wanted it to. I mean, I thought Survivor Series would have been perfect for Seth and Roman again, but as the U.S. title, so don't think that'll happen. Bobby Lashley, I still want that. That'll be cool to see Bobby get his shot. He never really did get his rematch when he dropped the title in the Chamber, when he was never pinned or submitted either. So he still never got his shot. So seeing Bobby get the shot would be cool. Putting Roman in the War Games match would be okay too if they want to do like a War Games match with the Bloodline. I think that would be cool as well. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure who's next for Roman or what would be next. Honestly, I don't really look at anybody that's clear-cut favorite right now. It's kind of a toss-up for everybody. I'm not sure who would be next and who would they put in front of him. It'd be interesting to see. But Yeah, I don't really know. There's no clear cut person right now that I can look at. It was Seth before he won the U.S. title, but now he's U.S. champion. Don't think they're going to go that route. If Bobby loses to Brock, which I think he will, I don't think Bobby's just going to get a match for the title. Excuse me, because he just lost to Brock, and Roman has already beaten Brock twice. So I don't see how that makes sense. Like I said, Bobby never did get his shot, so from a storyline perspective, it would make sense for that way. But it's looking at it, it's just like, you know, if Brock beats Bobby, I think Bobby will probably fall into a different path, something different. So I think maybe Sheamus could be up next. I think people would want to see Roman versus Sheamus.
Yeah,
Sheamus has been getting over. He's been having interaction with the bloodline too. So I mean, I think people would know Sheamus would lose, but I think the match would be amazing. I mean, Sheamus versus Roman would be a very hard hitting physical match.
Oh yeah,
amazing match. So I would definitely love to see Sheamus versus Roman. I'd totally be down for that.
They would go in there and kill it.
Yeah, they would.
Would you be open to Drew doing it again?
Yeah, I'd be open to Drew versus Roman again. I mean, getting a rematch would make sense too because he got cheated. You know what I mean? So it's like, it would make sense for him to get a rematch because he didn't win. I mean, he didn't lose fair and square. You know what I mean? So it would make sense for him to get a rematch. I just don't know if he can keep losing these type of matches. You know what I mean? It would. So I think it would be interesting to see what's going to be next after Crown Jewel. War Games is kind of a toss up too. Like, there's no clear cut match that I see happening on the card either for like War Games match or anything. Like, I don't see what the War Games matches are going to be. I don't see any time. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's what makes Triple H's booking so interesting. We don't really know what's going to happen after these shows. So I'm interested to see what kind of booking style they're going to do for War Games, because I'm assuming they're going to do a men and women's War Games match. That's what they usually do. So they're doing they do both. So I'll be interested. And is Survivor Series even going to still be Raw vs SmackDown too? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be Raw vs SmackDown? It's War Games going to be Raw vs SmackDown. You know what I mean? So it's like we don't even know. So I think
he said he wasn't going to do it. I think it's like, I feel like right when they switched it, he was like, he doesn't want to go SmackDown Raw anymore. He wants to just like do like story-based feuds, which would be.
I'm totally down with that. I've been tired of the Raw vs SmackDown stuff for me too. It got stale for me a couple years ago. It was cool when they first did it back in 2005 during the Ruthless Aggression, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Then they brought it back in 2016. That was cool. 2017 was cool. But then like 2018, I was like, even when they brought in NXT, it was cool. But I was like,
well, it ruined it once they put the draft a month before. It just didn't make sense. Why you just joined this brand? How you got loyalty? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like it was cool. Like I said, the first two times they did it was the coolest.
Oh yeah,
that was dope when they did that back in 2005. That was cool. And then when they brought it back in 2016, because that was a fresh new SmackDown Live Raw, so it was like competition type thing. I was like, oh, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me, that was cool. But ever since then, even when they got NXT involved, like I said, it was cool when they got NXT involved, but it was still
that was nice.
It was still overplayed for me at that point because they've been doing it for the years. I'm like, is Survivor Series just going to be Raw vs SmackDown every year? Like, it's cool because we can see a cool little matchup like Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins or something like that. Like, cool but it's like, I'd rather just go back to how Survivor Series was the old way, like the old traditional Survivor Series tag team matches with storylines based around them and title matches on the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to see. But we're not sure. Like I said, maybe they do Raw vs SmackDown. We don't know yet, but only time will tell. I'm curious to see how they're going to do Survivor Series. And Survivor Series will be the last pay-per-view of the year. There's no pay-per-view in December. Premium live event, I should say. They don't have one in December. I also believe they took away day one, so the next show won't be till Royal Rumble. That'll be the next big show they have. So just to see how they'll book everything from the end of November to December all the way to the end of January will be interesting to see, with no big show in there, premium live event in that mix. Be interested to see how they, what kind of storylines they do and how they, start to build stuff up. So I'll be interested to see how they do that. I'm excited to see that. So overall, what you give your guys' excitement for the show? How do you guys feel about the show on a scale of 1 to
10? Scale 1 to 10. I ain't gonna lie. 4, 5. I'm not really excited for it. I just think the build for it has been really, really bad, and I understand why, because is not really a Triple H book thing. It's more of like what the Prince wants to see. So I'm cool with that. It's just no, I'm not. The actual pay-per-view itself, I'm not gonna like run to the TV to see this one, but I'm hoping that they deliver. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be a bad show, but just my general feeling right now is just it feels like a glorified Raw to me. So hopefully they can present it in a way that just gives me not only Crown Jewel, not only Premium Live Event, but Triple H era Premium Live Event. Because that's the way Extreme Rules felt. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it felt. And that whole night, that whole arena was just like, this is WrestleMania level type just excitement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the energy was crazy.
Barring the Bray Wyatt stuff. You know, it was just like that
energy,
was like
energy was crazy. Energy was crazy. I mean, what about you, man? Yeah. What's your kind of
4 or 5. Only because I know Triple H is behind it. So like the match is going to be good. Everything's going to flow like according to the stories. Like I know that for sure. But it's Crown Jewel. It's on at a weird time. I won't even be able to watch the whole thing. I'm excited for Brock and Bobby. I know Bianca and Bayley is going to be a good match, like really good. But like we've seen that so many times. And then Roman and Logan, only because it's Logan Paul and he's fighting for the world championship. And like, if you would have told me that 6 months ago, I would have said you're on crack. But here we are, and it's happening. So it'll be a good show. Matches will be good. Stories will be concluded or continued in the Triple H way. But I mean, it's a Saudi show. It's for the Prince. So yeah.
To be fair, I will say though, last year's Crown Jewel was one of the best shows they had last year in 2020.
That was very good.
Last year,
Edge and Seth Rollins was phenomenal.
That was great. Oh man,
that was phenomenal.
I was in class screaming. That shit was.
I think the show last year was one of the best shows they had in 2021. So this year, I'm not saying this Crown Jewel will top last year's, but I think I'll give my excitement level about a 5 too. It's like in the middle, you know, because Triple H is behind it. I'm not against the match they put on there. Just more of, for me, of one, how they book the matches and, you know, the match quality. Obviously, you know, for me, I'm very open-minded when it comes to wrestling. I don't mind certain things. It just has to make sense for the story. You know, like certain people lose, I'm okay with it. It just got to make sense for me. Like certain people win, just has to make sense for the story. I mean, like, it just has to go along with what they're doing, and you have to just kind of have a something that to be at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like, okay, what's going to happen at the end? You know what I mean? Like something has to come of this, something has to come of that. So I'd be interested to see what they do with a lot of these matches. Because a lot of these matches we have our predictions, but I'm still not even really sure what some of my predictions with some of these matches. I'm kind of like, you know, what if they're maybe they could go a different route, maybe something different could happen. You never know. I think Triple H always has something up his sleeve a little bit. I mean, he kind of always has something planned.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what they got coming and what aspects going to happen. So I'm interested to see what happens here. So thank you guys for coming to watch and I see a lot of comments in the comment section. Thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you guys go subscribe on Twitch and YouTube if you're watching either platform. Make sure you guys go follow all the social media platforms. Check out the wrestling content. Go support them. Check out their stuff, man. And then we'll go ahead and sign off. I'm excited to see what comes of this and what happens. So, like I said, Roman versus Logan is crazy on paper, but it's interesting because it's Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. So it's like, oh well, this is interesting. Like, I want to see what happens. I mean, like I know who's gonna win, but I want to see like what happens. Yeah, like what happens in the match. Like what's gonna happen here. So thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you guys go subscribe. Until the next time, we'll be back tomorrow with the next round of the Jeopardy tournament. For those who've been watching, they'll be around for the next round tomorrow. And then we have more stuff coming for the channels as well. So thank you guys for coming through. Thank you guys for coming as a guest as well.
Always.